Χαίρετε από το Microsoft AI Tour 2025. Είμαστε εδώ που τρέχουν πάρα πολλές εξελίξεις αναφορικά με το κομμάτι του AI, της τεχνητής νοημοσύνης των εφαρμογών, πάρα πολλά θέματα που συζητιούνται. Και θα ήθελα λίγο να συζητήσουμε ένα τέτοιο θέμα, ένα διαφορετικό κομμάτι όσον αφορά τις κινήσεις της Microsoft. Και έχουμε μαζί μας τον Nick Tsilas, ο οποίος είναι Head of Legal and Government Affairs για την Ανατολική Ευρώπη. Nick, very nice to have you with us.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Okay, so I would like to tell us a little bit more about what are the commitments around Europe, the digital commitments of Microsoft about that.
We've been in existence for 50 years and we've been in Europe for over 40 years. And just under a month ago, we announced 5 digital commitments to Europe, specific to the European market. And these are really in an effort to address customer concerns and government concerns about the increasing volatility in the geopolitical environment. In a nutshell, our 5 European commitments are to help the European AI and cloud market grow. And so we announced a 40% increase in investments so that we will have over 200 data centers in 16 European countries. We're deepening and broadening AI and cloud in Europe. The second commitment is to address the issues that are coming up around data sovereignty. And so we have legal commitments to protect resiliency, European resiliency, specific to foreign orders and some concerns that have come up in terms of a foreign government, such as the US government, maybe trying to disrupt cloud services in Europe. The third commitment is around European data, and so protecting the data of Europeans in the cloud. The fourth is around cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is top of mind for every government, every business. And the fifth is really about encouraging and helping Europe be more competitive in the AI landscape, and here supporting with open source in a very competitive environment with our AI access principles.
Earlier today, you announced something about had to do with a Microsoft Sovereignty Cloud,
Yes.
which has to do with one of these commitments.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little
Indeed.
bit on that?
Indeed, it has to deal with the second commitment in terms of European resiliency. And so, in a nutshell, the Microsoft Sovereign announcement that we made is a major step for data sovereignty in Europe. It's a major step because we've expanded our sovereign cloud offerings, which now include sovereign public cloud, sovereign private cloud, and national partner clouds in France and Germany. In a nutshell, all data, all cloud data will now remain within Europe. And that means all cloud data that's stored, but also that's access support data will now be within Europe, the borders of Europe, and under EU governing law. To further build trust, what we've announced is any system access to this cloud data will be done by locally based EU nationals, locally EU personnel, and it will be done in a manner that's transparent and in a manner that's supervised by European customers and by our European nationals. Why is that important? It's become increasingly important because what we're hearing is from European governments and European customers, they want to have full control of their data. They don't just want to have control about where their data is stored. They want to know how their data is accessed, who accesses it, and the governing law. And so this is an effort to build trust, to build transparency, and to ensure that we're building confidence and meeting the needs of our European customers.
So trust and transparency are the 2 key words I will say. This. Okay. So what are the future plans in terms of this building trust and the commitments and fulfilling these commitments?
You know, I think in an era of increased geopolitical volatility, Microsoft wants to provide digital stability. So what you will see from us is a continuation of us building out these 5 principles, these 5 commitments to Europe, because we want to build and help Europe build a cloud in Europe, for Europe, to serve Europe. So you will see us making these commitments more real. Literally every week, we will have an announcement. Just last week, we announced the European Security Program, which is an element to help Europe defend itself from cybersecurity threats and for us to partner by by sharing threat intelligence with European governments, as well as bringing down cyber threats and cyber attackers.
Europe is currently in a very big discussion about how to manage cloud. So these commitments and these actions that you're doing perhaps are more important than most people think, I will say. I don't know if you agree with that.
I agree. I think the European commitments that our Vice Chair and President Brad Smith announced in Brussels are really cutting edge, and everything that has happened since, we're setting the industry standard for how we're protecting Europe and how we're providing local cloud and AI services that, again, build trust and confidence in customers to use our services.
And that will be also very important for Greece as well, I will as you.
Of course, we've a long-term commitment in Greece, over 30 years, as you know. We've announced a data center in Greece. Data center is progressing quite well, and so building this AI ecosystem in Greece is of paramount importance. It's one of the 16 European countries where we have investments in data centers, and I just love the energy you and I are seeing today in the AI tour from Greek partners, customers, and government officials.
Nick, thanks very much for the conversation.
Thank you.
Και ευχαριστούμε και εσάς που μας παρακολουθήσατε.